Hey, everybody, welcome back to Lion Athletics. This is where you find Inside Lion Athletics. Charlie Chitwood here. This time we're doing Zoomies this week, and we're going to start out with a women's soccer coach, Ashley Gordon. One of five teams in the conference, coach, yet to lose a conference match. Trying to get some over in that left hand column, though, to go with those ties.
Yeah, we are. We are. I mean, we came off of two games this weekend with two ties. First one playing at McNeese, had the game in hand. I thought played well. Could we have been in an opportunity? I mean, could we have been in a position to be up more than 2 goals at halftime? Yes. We had a number of opportunities. Went late into the game, and in the last 2.5 minutes, gave up a PK. That then led to playing short with 10 women on the field, and lessons learned, from a number of our players in the last minute and a half, that I think were avoidable mistakes. So, even though we had a tie against McNeese, in my opinion, felt like, and I think our team felt the same way, felt like a loss, because again, we were the better team statistically. We led in shots, we led in corners. We were in complete control of the game, and gave away two goals in the last minutes of the game.
Well, then you got home and had that scoreless tie with UIW on Saturday.
Right.
That there's only a total of like 16 shots. Did y'all just battle it out at midfield?
We did, but it's another game that we outshot Incarnate. And they were a fresh team coming in, did not play Thursday, whereas we did, and then had to travel. I mean, I thought a really gutsy performance from our team, from a number of players, as well, that I thought had really, really good games. But I thought that we were in control of the game even in the first half. We had Judith, our Kenyan, who we spoke about last week, who had gotten to the back post, that had 3 opportunities on the back side of the six, and it came up just short and a bit unlucky. But going into halftime, I mean, I thought that we were playing well and steady, and getting opportunities. I thought Maya Mitchell was really dangerous, 1v1 in the channels. And to be honest, we were getting a number of set pieces. And so, super dangerous on any of our corners. And when you're looking at statistics, we had more corners than Incarnate Word. We had Maya was taken. This was could have been a PK, in which the referee did not call the PK. But like I said, going into the second half, we knew that we are going to continue to have opportunities. Right at the beginning of the second half, actually, we had a corner that led to a goal that was disallowed. And Charlie, when you look at the video, it's a clear goal. It's a clear goal. So, but I'm not the referee. So we came away with that, with still a point at home, and undefeated on the weekend. But when you look at the Incarnate Word game, we had due to just some players out in our back line. We had a
Mhm.
new back line that was playing in this game, due to some sickness and injuries and so forth. So we had Trinity Edgerton that was paired at center back with Peyton Jost, and I thought both of them were super, super steady. I thought Trinity played really well. In the midfield, Chris Schultz, who's a complete warrior, our captain, junior. She was everywhere in the game, and actually scored the goal that was disallowed. Nia Chacon had I thought was her best game of the season, playing both sides of the ball, super impactful in the midfield, as well as Alana. And then, up top, we were getting a lot of production from Maya Mitchell and Hannibal, but just, couldn't after the disallowed goal, couldn't put in another one. But I have no problem with the way that we played and performed on Sunday. Again, I thought it was a gutsy performance, and playing against a team that was fresh. We competed hard. So, nothing to keep our heads down about going into this week. We're preparing for Nichols tomorrow night. So we kick off. Hey, and it's Hispanic Heritage Night. And Charlie, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have led the Southland in single game attendance, and that happened actually 2 years ago. Guess it was, but on every single Hispanic Heritage Night, we've had a great outcome. And Dr. Rudin has hosted festivities in our parking lot, and it's been an exciting time for all of our fans. And so we've always had great crowds. And of course, we always welcome hecklers, by the way, and they get after it. They get after it.
That's it.
We're looking
See, that's
forward.
what gives those rowdies are what gives soccer a great reputation.
I know. So
Can
we're
you can they sing though?
they can, and they do. We have a lot. Our fans have a lot of great chants. So anyway, but we're excited to play and get back, on the field for tomorrow night, and then thereafter, then we head to Corpus. We head to Corpus on Saturday, so we've got a kickoff time at noon on Sunday. So it's a 2-game fixture for us, and we just we gotta get after it, as I know our team will. I know our team will. So we're excited.
All right, coach, I know it's a natural thing, and as the head coach, you're the only one that's really allowed. What's the scene in the conference race? Southeastern, SFA both have a couple of wins already. SFA, and they're two of the other four teams that have not yet lost.
Right. Yeah. SFA, SLU, Incarnate, and Lamar, and our team. We're the 5 teams that are undefeated right now. And of course, we've already played 2 of those opponents. So we'll face SFA and SLU here later this month. Need to draw points from those games. Now SFA is sitting in first, but they have a game in hand. They're the only team that's played 4 matches, where everybody
Mhm.
else played 3. So it is really, really tight right now. And with 7 games to be played, anything can happen. But we're certainly looking forward to getting some W's.
All right, coach, thank you so much for your time today. It's always great to visit, and go Lions. Let's get them up. Get you those dubs against Nichols and A&M Corpus. Folks, we're going to take a break. Be right back with more Inside Lion Athletics after this. Hey, everybody, welcome back to more Inside Lion Athletics. We're doing Zoomies this week, so that's why you get my floating head, and coach has got a whole backstop behind him. Got head coach Clint Dolezel, East Texas A&M Lion football, and conference play opens up this week. Coach, it's kind of like, all right, now this is the line. This is where we really got to get going, guys.
Yeah, that's where it matters, obviously. Win the conference and play well there. And obviously, playing Northwestern, going their place like we did last year. A team that's coming off a bye, so they had 2 weeks to prepare for us. Obviously, a little better football team than they were last year overall.
So this is one of 2 games that, well, I think it'll be one of 2 games in the Southland Conference this week that gets everybody engaged in the race. Lamar, Houston Christian, I think they're going head to head in the other one. And our date with Northwestern, you've got Southeastern, SFA, and Nichols. 1-4, or is it 1-3 Nichols? Those 1-4 Nichols is still on the leaderboard because they got that hot, soupy game day to open things up back in August against UIW.
Yeah. Obviously, everybody's records are not what they want just because of some of the teams they played.
Sure.
With the exception of Rios. Rios played some teams that weren't quite as FBS esque.
Right. They're a first year program that
Yeah.
scheduled well.
Yeah, no question, no question. So, yeah, no, it's exciting to get into conference, and where it's a tough conference. I really believe, you could win the conference with a 2-win, even 1 win probably wins. I don't think anybody can just maybe
In
can go
loss.
undefeated. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough battle throughout. I think Stephen F. probably has the upper hand right now. Honestly, looking at the teams and watching every team play, they're a pretty good football team.
All right, very good. All right, tell us a little bit more about Northwestern State. Coach, their front defensive front is not like North Carolina Central's.
No, no, they're not. Not many will be in our conference. That was a good front six that we saw, and heck, I was proud of how we protected the quarterback and ran the ball early when we were in the ball game. As far as not being too far behind, yeah, I thought we did a great job with that, and that's with 3 offensive linemen not in the game, being hurt, and 2 receivers. So yeah, I was really pleased with the offensive side of the ball and how we protected, and again, like I said, how we ran the ball early.
Okay. Hey, Ron Peace's return this last weekend. That had to be one of the bright spots of the night for you to see him chunking it. 19 out of 39 for 356, two touchdowns, and only one ended up in the other guy's hands.
Yeah, I thought he, coming off, knocking some rust off and looked good. Missed a few things just mental wise being out as far as checks and telling the line exactly what to do and read here or there. But overall, played really well. And Erod came in at the end there to give us a little uplift and did well as well.
When you've got a guy that's been out like Peace has, the game film from his first effort is probably the one that he'll get the most instruction from all year long. Wouldn't you think? I mean, you were a quarterback once.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, honestly, after the first drive or two, he looked like he had missed a beat. Honestly,
Hmm.
especially the way he threw the football. His trigger was good. Quick release, pushed the ball downfield several times. Had some big plays. Obviously, the second play of the game, we go 73, which is nice. Nice start to a football game. And he just, he's got just that little extra zip that gets past defenders at times. And wish he'd run the ball a little bit more at times when there's open field in front of him. We tried a few 50-50 balls downfield where I think he could have picked some good chunks up with his legs if he'd have just, done that.
All right. Let's see. Had an interesting receiving core in that game. It wasn't by design necessarily, but Tanner Harrison had a couple of catches. Devin Matthews, 5 for 103. Harrison, by the way, had that 73-yarder that was so pretty early. And then Andres Lewis and Randy Reese, we hadn't really called their names a lot receiving in a game. You
Yeah,
had to fill in.
with Proc being out and Paul Didi, basically those first 2 names filled into their spots. Yeah, Tanner, had caught 2 balls and I think he averaged, I don't know, 50 something yards per catch. So that's not bad. And then basically, Matthews came back from injury from Florida State, which he, caught a ball on the sideline late in that game and got hurt. So it was his first game back too, and looked good. He's a solid player for us, and he's been here since I, first got here, recruited him. I was happy for him, and he's only going to get better as time goes on. And you mentioned a few other names in there, and we spread the ball around. That's what we tell our guys, and we fuss at our guys about, you've got to be ready to play because I don't care who's on the field. We're going to call a play and expect you to know what to do. And thought we executed pretty good with some new faces.
All right, over on the defensive side of the ball, it was a lot of Levon Williams and Kyrie Anderson and Kobe Sebastian King.
Yeah, a little too much Levon. If you got, on my side of it, he's our safety and having to come up and make a lot of tackles. And, I thought the defense overall, I know you look at the scoreboard and they gave up 50 points, but it did a lot of good things on first and second down, but third down was the key. And that's always, crucial to be able to get off the field on third down. And I believe, they were 9 of 9 on their first third downs, 9 third downs in a row they, got. So couldn't get off the field. And, that quarterback threw some really good balls and spread the ball around and executed and commanded the huddle well for them. And, like I said, that's a good football team. I'm sure they'll win the MEAC again over there and go well deep in the playoffs over there.
All right, over on special teams, how about Oslo Rigby? Gave you your first onside kick, and that came at a pretty big time.
Yeah, it did. And Tanner Harrison, again, is one of those guys who recovered that on the sideline. Just goes to show you how important special teams are, good and bad. And we'll talk about the bad here in a second as well. Recovering that and, on who you're supposed to block on special
Hmm.
teams. they didn't execute it right on their side, and we did, and we came up with a football. And again, we had the bad snap and punt, and snapped it over our head again, and lost some big chunks of yards there, and gave them ball deep in our own territory. So we got to fix that, and I believe Corey will Garcia he'll get that fixed this week, and we've really worked on it, and just got to keep his butt down. That's just bottom line. When it sells high, he's just popping that rear end up too fast, and it's going selling. So, Coach McLean put a lot of work into this week.
All right, good deal. All right, Coach, man, I think we're ready to go to Northwestern, just to go to Natchitoches and
Yeah,
get inside historic, let's see, Prather Coliseum. Y'all might dress there instead of in the stadium, but man, it's a fun place to visit.
it
Safe
is.
travels down there, my friend, and we will see you Saturday.
Sounds good.
All right, then. Lions up here. Clint Dolezel, everybody, Lions head football coach, getting ready to go up against Northwestern State Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff. Means Brock and I'll start working at 5, but you can always catch it on the Lion Sports Network. Thanks, Coach.
Take care.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We've got some more Inside Lion Athletics. Charlie Chitwood here. We've already had soccer and football, or is that football and, oh, well, they're both football. But now we're going
There
to
you
talk
go.
volleyball. I got
There
Joe
you go.
Morales here with me. And man, you had a tough weekend at home, but friend, there's another day coming, and it'll be soon and on the road and down on the beach in South Texas.
Yeah, we're here already. We landed. We just checked into the hotel. Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. I mean, it's early in the conference. We had great games, I thought, on Thursday and Saturday against Houston Christian and Incarnate Word, and it's a little disappointing we didn't get those wins. But like I told a lot of people, like stat wise, if you looked at the stat, it was very hard to tell who won.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of good things, and I think the team knows. I honestly think, and of course this is opinionated, this is just my opinion, but I think we should have won. We got the better team, and we're holding to that positive and confidence, and I think that's what's gonna play over a little bit. Not great that we didn't win, but now we just got to go fight a little harder. And what better place to do it than Corpus Christi and UTRGV? And so the kids are ready. I think we're just gonna stay positive throughout this. And as a head coach, we hope for the best, expect for the worst, but then you plan for the future, right? So like that's what we're doing, and kind of mapped out the season and what we need to do and who we need to do it to and how we got to do it. And so I like our chances still. I still think we're a
Mm-hmm.
good team and we're playing high energy, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and the kids are playing loose and they're enjoying it. And so that's what we're getting towards now, where we're just going to play loose and not be so stressed or tense about the wins and losses right now, because I
Mm-hmm.
think those are going to come. The wins are going to come when we do that. So
The trip south I know gets you close to home, and I think that if you do it strategically, you can get to McAllen and UTRGV from Corpus Christi by going through Kingsville, and I know that's where your
yeah.
favorite pregame meal is always going to be.
LTAP, right? LTAP.
That's it. That's it, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely can get through there, and then hit to 281, most
Yep.
definitely about an hour and a half from here. So not a bad drive either.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about how this trip's going to go. I mean, these are two of the teams that probably
Yeah,
draw pretty well. And I'd also like to kind of compare ours. You had a loud crowd on Saturday afternoon, at least for the earliest games. That
yeah.
had almost 360
Gosh,
and
so
then
great.
275 on Thursday. How are those crowds compared to some of the others in the conference?
Well, I think Corp is going to be a little different this year because we're playing an 11:30 game, so an educational game, if you
Oh,
will.
right.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be loud with kids, um, respectively. And then UTRGV always does a good job with their crowd. Now it's on a Saturday. It's going to be a noon game, I believe. So that's going to be hit or miss, but they normally do a pretty good production with their crowd too. I got to tell you, the UIW game was so much fun, and just the atmosphere that we had in there was absolutely amazing. Like my team is so grateful for playing in the field house and doing that. And grateful for the student body and the fans to be out there and supporting, and it makes it that much more special, and it makes it that much more grit where we got to get some wins for them. But it was awesome. It was great. Yeah, we'll see. We're playing two, afternoon games, if you will,
Mhm.
this week. So a little different than what we're used to, but we're ready, we're here. So
All right, well, let's talk about some of the standouts from last week's play.
yeah,
Gracie Campbell, 14 kills against Houston, and then 20 in the 5-game set against
gosh,
UIW. Zoe Roskovsky had 10 kills in the first and 13 on Saturday. And Haley Mullaney was pretty busy. Only
yeah,
3 of them on Thursday, but 8 more on Saturday. Uh, how about
yeah.
who are we missing here?
Oh man, well, I think we're missing a couple people that didn't show form the last week. I think our middles, Brooke Vea need to get in the mix there.
Hmm.
And I think that's a plan coming into this week. And I think MJ did a pretty decent job. I think hit like 280 something against UIW.
Hmm.
Um, Roper has to get in the mix. Like Roper is my high flyer on the right side. She has to get in the mix. And it's different because you saw Haley with a lot of kills because we went into a 5-1, so that eliminates
Hmm.
one of the right sides, and sometimes it's Roper just because of her ball control. But it doesn't mean we're going away from it. I thought Haley did a great job in orchestrating the 5-1. I mean, you saw her get some. She had a hitting percentage, which is really rare for a setter unless you're in a 5-1, and so she was up there getting some points and doing a really good job. But I think our middles on the right side will get back on track a little bit. And I can't say enough about our outsides. Like Gracie is Gracie. Gracie, I mean, I just love having her on our team. I think this kid is just dynamite. And I think, when she transferred 2 years ago, or, in 24, I believe, in the spring, came to us, and I knew what we were getting. And it's just been uh, match made in heaven. I think she's really and she's growing her game this year a little bit. Like she's really
Hmm.
growing her game. Everybody knows her for her fast arm, and now she's developing a little bit of a short game in there, and so that's going to be really telling. And then Zoe's coming in with some high energy, with little nervous coming in the preseason, and now she's finding her groove, and that kid's fun to watch. So we're excited. We get our middles involved. Roper gets some piece of the action. I think we're going to be just fine.
All right, good stuff. Well, Coach, it's always a pleasure to visit, and I know y'all are going to be heading out, so safe travels on
Thank
the
you.
road in South Texas, and get a shrimp cocktail for me when you hit El Tap, man. It's
Sounds
always
good. I'm
good.
gonna try, I'm gonna try to get my assistant to do a little detour to there. He
There
always
you
makes
go.
the
Maybe
itinerary. So
DoorDash.
there,
It'll
Dash.
work. There's all they'll put a price on anything.
There you go.
All
There
right,
you
my
go.
friend. Cheers to you. Thanks everybody for being part of this episode of Inside Line Athletics. Had some people out of pocket, but they'll be back next week. For Line Athletics, I'm Charlie Chitwood. See you, everybody.